Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the In the Paint podcast. My name is Calvin Camrath. This over here is my brother,
Oh, my
Gage
name is Gage
Garcia.
Garcia.
Uh, we are back for week 3 of the podcast. Um, this is the award ceremony episode we talked about. We're going to be doing last week. I'm going to go through a couple different categories along the lines of MVP, Defense Player of the Year. We're going to talk a little bit about a couple other fun ones like your All NBA First Team. Dunk of the year, crossover of the year. Gage knows a lot about being crossover, so figured we'd go over that as well. But first, let's get into a recap. You want to talk about the Duke versus Houston game, Gage?
Yeah,
How does Duke choke, man? How?
I don't know. I didn't watch the
So
game
much
myself,
damage.
but I know they're up. So I went back and looked at so you can go on like Google and it'll show you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I guess
The live scores.
live scores and it'll show you at like what time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're up at so like with 11 at one point and then you somehow choke it.
Yeah,
Even then, with the last minute left, I think they're up by like 5 or 6 and they still choke it. Like you have two first rounders, not even like you have Coop, Khan, you have the center.
yeah.
Uh,
I can't remember his name. Save my life.
I can't either because I don't really watch college basketball. So it's
It's Malik. Come on,
something
Malik,
like
I
that.
think. But he's a dog. Like, he's a defensive dog. And the Houston team was more of like just a well put together, rounded team, right? But Duke had all these superstars, which in college basketball, I don't think they should lose per se, personally. But and then
I
you
mean,
have a
defense
you have
wins
a huge
champions, I
lead.
guess.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I guess, but they have a huge lead with 10 minutes left, and then they score one basket.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not gonna say
um,
anything.
well, I mean, as at the end of this recording, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to confidently say that the Lakers belts to ass the number one seed in the West. But also, let's talk about belt to ass real quick, Gage, because you and me did a 5v5 with a 6-man on the bench last week, and we put
How'd
it
that
on
go?
Instagram to be voted on. And I got 75% of the vote as my team winning the series. There were some people saying, probably my team in a sweep. Some people said my team in like a 5. Which
No.
like 1 or 2 people said it'd be a 7-game series because it's full of greats. Um, but you kind of got your booty kicked, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Nikola Jokic and Shaq could have been a dominant force.
Yeah, they would have been, except LeBron and Steph and Giannis running the court.
No, you don't understand.
Boom, 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 boom.
Pri-
All right. Anyways,
Prime Shaq was a monster.
Prom Shaq was a monster. He's also saying that. Did you see what Shaq said about Victor Wembanyama and
I did not
Chet
know.
Holmgren? He said, and I
It's like
quote,
these skinny
that
guys. I would demolish them if I was in this era.
that's kind of what he said. He did say something along the lines of like, if I get in there, I'm gonna get in the paint and I'm gonna start throwing elbows at these motherfuckers, and then they gonna quit. That's what he said.
This is the dumbest stuff ever.
Do you think it's dumb?
I
You
believe
don't you
him.
don't think Shaq could handle
I don't think in this era, no. I feel like he'd be like your normal center.
normal? You think Shaq would be a normal center in this era?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying like that. He's probably get you like 20 to like 30, but I don't think he's gonna be like dominant as he was. I mean, maybe he would be, but I feel like the rules changed, so
Yeah,
it's a lot different. I feel like the athletes have gotten stronger and faster since then.
that's true.
So I
It's
want to
not
be like he'd be.
it's not necessarily wrong. I feel like the game has evolved. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
like the stuff Jordan was doing now is like NBA players are doing the norm.
yeah.
So not saying
I
Jordan would be good in this era, but I feel like if you put a Jordan in our era now, I think he's like
well, when
25.
when when is Jordan
He'd be
even
like
being put in
Anthony
our era?
Edwards,
Is Jordan being put in our era at like the age of 10 and then growing into it, or is he like we're just dropping prime MJ in this era?
prime MJ. I think
Prime
he'd play
MJ.
like Anthony Edwards.
I think he would play a lot like Anthony Edwards. I don't think he'd shoot the 3 ball nearly as much, but I think in like the
No,
offseason he'd probably take the time to like develop his shot more. He was a man of like a work ethic that's unlike many others. But my point is
yeah,
like if he grew up in today's era, I think he would be like a legitimate superstar. But anyways, let's talk about that. Let's look at the YouTube comments from last week. Will says that MJ went way too late in that draft. Call me biased and argue with a wall. He's not. I mean, the GOAT did go 6th overall. You know.
Yeah.
I, I don't know. I mean, I took Kobe because I think Kobe's a slightly better defender than Mike. You want to talk about all NBA defensive teams? Yeah, I get it. Right? You can have the accolades. Kobe was picking up the best player every single night, usually. Um, and my team won, so was it really too late? You know what I mean? The losing team had the
Yeah.
GOAT. You tell me. I don't know. Money Mason says Josh Giddey will be top 5 in triple doubles by the end of his career.
I have no comment on that one.
I strongly disagree, Mason. Bogeys and buckets. Hypothetically speaking, the Bucks turn their stuff around and lock in come playoff time, and I should be able to lose 150 pounds by summertime. But that's things that won't happen for 500, Alec. Anyways, all right.
Okay.
Mocha Ginobili says Jalen Williams, Aaron Gordon, Evan Mobley, Kristaps Porzingis, and Taylor Horton Tucker are all better third options than Reeves. Also, we have an over/under for this episode from Gage as well. There's a side bet being placed. So, drop your comments in the comment section below as to how many times Gage is gonna in this episode. Jalen Williams, I could maybe see. Aaron Gordon's not.
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon's not on Austin Reeves' level.
Dude, I
Evan
don't know.
Mobley,
He's been going off.
he has been, right? And I think Mike said something along the lines in the YouTube comments themselves about how he's averaging, I want to say it's close to like 27 or 28 a game when Jokic isn't there, which is great and all. However, Reeves is averaging close to 30 when LeBron isn't there. Right? Like, if you're talking about it. And also, when LeBron is there, is Austin Reeves now relegated back to like this option of like, oh, well, it goes in this order? No, Austin Reeves can go off on any given night past that too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen's averaging 22, 6 and 5 without Shea for his career, which is good, but it's not Austin Reeves level. Evan Mobley could get there. I would defensively, I think he's definitely as valuable as Austin Reeves could be offensively. But Colby says that Carter and Colby special guests equals GOAT debate. Gentlemen, I'm sure in due time we will have time for you to come on and get belt to asses if you guys want to. But we'll give us a couple episodes to establish ourselves, and then we'll get to you guys coming on, okay? Gage, let's get into our awards presentations. Starting with In the Paint presenting the MVP award. And I'll go first, Gage. I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was going to happen. You knew. And honestly, does Jokic have some credibility and reason to win this award? 100%. He's having a historic season. One that we really haven't seen very much before. However, you can't argue with Shai's number. And yeah, I understand he's foul baiting or whatever you want to call it, where he's getting to the line almost as much as Giannis. But he's averaging almost 33 a game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds on like 52% shooting. The guy it's hard to deny him the award, right? Jokic, like I said, having a great year, but he hasn't been as dominant throughout the entire year. He's had big games, then he's had smaller occurrences. Shai's been pretty consistent all year. So for my MVP pick, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Gage, floor is yours.
Oh, I'm gonna say my vote. I got Nikola Jokic, averaging 29 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Averaging a pure triple double. We haven't seen that since Russell Westbrook's MVP season.
Yeah.
I don't know what year it was.
I think it was like 2018, I think.
Yeah. I mean, no. Maybe it was. I think he was on the Washington at that point.
2017, sorry.
2017, yeah.
Yeah, he averaged 31, 10, and 10. Sorry.
And then just achieved the highest triple double in points wise.
I'll tell you what, if if there was like another month of the season, which I mean, I guess there's still like a week and a half, right?
Yeah.
I might be able to be swayed on the Nikola Jokic argument because I'm not 100% sold on SGA. I'm at like a 70-30 SGA Jokic split. If it was another month, man, I think I'd probably be in the same boat as you. But that being
Mm-hmm.
said, I think SGA takes the cake here. We're gonna drop down polls down below for everybody to vote on who they think is more correct, whether it's SGA or not, on Instagram as well. SGA or Nikola Jokic. Gage, go ahead, take us into our next category.
All right. We're doing the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Go ahead.
This is a really tough one because since Victor went out, it was like, of course, we all know who it was going to be because so Victor, it's just I guess you could say a phenom.
Yeah,
Like
Victor is.
you just can't deny that, But I got two players. I think you might disagree with one of them a lot.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the one you might agree with, Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
All right, here my next one.
I love
Or do you
Dyson.
want I think it's just
Why do you
because of
think Dyson deserves it?
I think it's just the steals.
Okay.
It's like he's a perimeter lockdown player, averaging
Yeah.
3.0 steals per game.
Sure.
The next one, ready?
Yeah.
Draymond Green.
Huh. Okay.
I saw a stat where I don't know the exact statistic, but when Draymond Green is guarding someone, their like field goal percentage goes down.
Yeah.
Like, tremendously.
It goes down like they drops tremendously. Yeah, you're not wrong. Ironically, you think I'm gonna hate it, but Draymond Green's actually my pick for Defensive Player of the Year as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought you would. I didn't think you'd hate it, but you give like a little opinion to it.
So here's the thing, right? Part of me wants to vote for Ivica Zubac, okay? Like badly, because he's been a dog this year on defense for the Clippers. Part of me wants to vote for Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has been the best defender on the best team in the NBA this year.
That is true.
But when you look at the statistics, and if we're going to give the MVP award to the best player on the best team, which I don't think we both agree. I think we both agree, rather, that it shouldn't just be the best player on the best team. It should be the best player in the league at that time. I think if we're already going to give that to that person, we should just look at the overall effective, like, defensive field goal percentage, right?
Yeah.
Steals, blocks, everything along those lines, and then the eye test as to what they actually do. Draymond Green has been locking people down this year. Incredibly well. And like, it got to the point where people were like, oh, is Draymond going to get traded? And then they start to see him actually play during the season. They're like, well, they can't trade him because who's going to guard their best player? It's Draymond. It's Draymond. Draymond wins Defensive Player of the Year. No questions asked here. For sake of argument, for the Instagram poll, I'm going to say Evan Mobley's in there too. He's just a dog. He has had so many blocks this year. Evan Mobley is the stereotypical modern day power forward, and he's exactly what you want. But man.
I gotta apologize about something about last episode.
Go ahead.
The Rudy Gobert and Julius hate, it's calming down. Ever since then, dude, they've been going off. I've never seen Rudy Gobert. Never seen Rudy Gobert do his job. And the past couple of weeks when I've been watching, I'm like, holy crap. Rudy's actually doing something.
Rudy is actually doing something is kind of a crazy take.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't normally do anything. It's just like, as a big, you expect him to do a lot more by grabbing all the boards, or at least trying a lot more.
Sure.
Or at least putting yourself in that position to grab the board.
Yeah, I could see that. I think
or miss a wide open layups,
He does do that pretty frequently. Although I can't even lie, I do that too sometimes. So
you're not like 7 foot freaking 9.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid $50 million a year either. Yeah. If I was, I guarantee you I'm not missing layups.
Yeah. There's a big difference.
No, there's a massive difference. Like, it's not even close, right? All right, let's move on to the rookie of the year.
Mm,
This one might shock you a little bit, Gage, but I got
yep.
Jalen Wells as my rookie of the year.
Mm,
Uh, Jalen Wells, Memphis Grizzlies. He was the 39th pick in the NBA draft. He's averaging 11, 3, and 2 assists per game. He's just been consistent, man. And the Grizzlies honestly probably came out of the draft looking the best this year. Like they got Zach Edey, Jalen Wells with no like top 5 picks.
yeah. Or the
That's pretty
Lakers. Lakers
incredible.
did pretty good too.
The Lakers did good. Obviously they got Dalton Connect, right?
Bronny
But
James, you know.
Bronny James, rookie of the year. He should be honestly rookie of the year. I'm gonna put him in the Instagram poll just to piss some people off. Get the clickbait, you know.
Oh.
I would love to put Dalton Connect up here too, but he's just not. He's not playing well enough.
I mean, the problem is though when you have Luca, LeBron, Austin Reeves. I mean,
It's hard to get playing time,
yeah.
especially as a forward or a wing rather. So yeah, I got Jalen Wells, Memphis Grizzlies. Go ahead.
I got Stephon Castle.
Shocker. Why?
Just he's averaging 14.3 points. Games are looking good. The problem is though, they're out Victor.
Yep.
So it's like now it opens up the floor for more players, especially like a player like him to go out there and get more minutes.
Yeah.
So, but
I would agree.
Might be a good thing at the same time.
I think Stefan, whatever the hell is it. I think he's probably going to win it. I have man, he's just a dog. I like his game a lot. He's going to be a good rotation piece for the Grizzlies for a long time. Zach Edey, you could throw his name in there as well if you wanted to. I didn't think the Grizzlies were going to find a starting center worthy piece with Zach Edey. I thought he was going to be a bust. I'm not going to lie. He kind of shows though that like the stereotypical center can still play in today's NBA, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So I still think that there's a lot of room for the big men who are just fundamentally sound, who don't have like the craziest athleticism, right? Who can still be a part of the game and helpful. So yeah, I think it comes down to Jalen Wells, and as you said, Stephon Castle. Throw Zach Edey in there and Bronny James for a little bit of consideration, and then go from there. You know, if we're talking NBA G League performances, though, Bronny James is by far the MVP.
Oh, dude, he is going off right now.
He's averaging like 30 a game, bro.
Yeah,
man, and his shooting splits down there are incredible too. Like he's efficient. It's stupid. All right, moving on, Gage. Take us to our next category.
All right, Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. Gage,
I think mine's gonna be JJ Redick.
You're taking JJ?
Yeah.
I love that.
I think just because of what their performance from last year.
Yeah.
And how they were a play-in team to now being the third overall seed in the Western.
And giving it to the Thunder currently.
Yeah, so it's a really big adjustment from one season, and I think the coaching job was really a good pickup for them.
Yeah.
And like I was watching Mind in the Game podcast, it's basically a whole interview.
Yeah.
In each episode.
Mind in the Game is a great podcast. It's the podcast that I listen to for honestly. To anybody who's watching this and who knows how I coach when I coach AAU, I took so many concepts from that podcast because it was so full of very easy to understand concepts. For instance, thumb up, thumb down, right? It's a very, very easy concept. You can watch Mind the Game and they go through it in detail and explain it. They don't go through Euro, but neither did my team last year, but that's neither here nor there. I think there's two other names that you need to throw out there. I do think that JJ Redick deserves some flowers. He's probably not going to win Coach of the Year.
No, probably not. I think either the Cleveland coach or the Thunder coach are probably contenders.
Kenny Atkinson is the favorite right now for the Cavaliers. I think
that was the one I had below it.
I think he's probably going to win it. However, I think JB Bickerstaff from the Detroit Pistons deserves a lot of credit. And you know what, Gage? I'm I'm gonna throw some shade on myself too. I'm gonna apologize. I hated it a little bit on the Detroit Pistons, whether it was last episode or the first one.
So I'm
Man,
telling you, they're a
they
good
look
team.
good.
I'm telling you, I called
They
that
look
out.
damn good.
Start of the season after I think they lost their first game or one of the
You're not
two.
wrong. You're not wrong.
I was
And
like,
I think they're great.
they're they remind me of the 2004. Not like that team. Like they don't play like them as much
Sure.
because well, it's a different era and rule changes.
Sure.
But they're such a defensive minded team.
Yeah, I would agree. I think a lot of that is due to the coaching. I think JB Bigstaff deserves a lot of credit. I think Kenny Atkinson's probably going to win it because you don't have a Cleveland team like this and not win Coach of the Year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
I guess. What are your thoughts on the Thunder coach?
Man, when you have a team this talented, how do you not do
Yeah,
this well? You know what I mean? Especially with SGA playing the way he is, it's hard to look at that and be like, "Wow, yep, definitely done." It blows my mind that his coaching philosophy got him this far, dude. That much talent, you could probably put me out there. I'd probably win 60 games as a coach.
you could say that though about the Nuggets too, but at the same
the
time,
Nuggets
I
don't
mean,
have
like,
nearly as much talent this year.
yeah. So their bench is like really bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have Nikola Jokic, is like I feel like expectations are like up there now.
They are.
He
They're
did in
definitely higher
2022
for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could say that every single year about every team that has a superstar too. You know what I mean? Like the Bucks. Like people would probably say, well, how did the Bucks not win 60 games? Well, first they need a competent coach. That'd be key number one, in my opinion, or a competent assistant coach. Instead, they got a guy who's freaking out and the guy who's the calmest guy in the room at all times for whatever reason. So, Gage, this next category is a little bit more fun, something that we came up with ourselves. It is the Dunk of the Year award.
Okay. I might be biased.
I'll let you go first. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
That is because I just saw it too. And I was like, I have one of the dunks as when Anthony Edwards just posted one of the players on Philly. I think April 5th. It was yesterday.
Yep. Okay.
And it's like one of the real posters I've seen.
It's a legitimate poster.
Yeah.
It could be recency bias, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I have the same dunk.
Yeah, I was like,
it's a nasty poster.
Yeah, it's like all body, like everything you need for a poster.
It is a Vince Carter-esque dunk where he is like, some people would probably say you just ended that man's career. Like if this was like, if we were in Beijing, this would have been like, oh yeah, he's done. He's not going to the NBA. You can't even like defend down low. Stupid statement, but neither here nor there. Yeah, no, I have the same dunk. Personally speaking, I don't think it's very close, but there's probably dunks throughout the year that we've missed too. So if you know of one that we haven't said this podcast, for the love of God, give us some slack, man. You know how hard it is to find dunk of the year candidates online. It is incredibly tough. How about that poster from Austin Reeves to LeBron against the Pelicans? Did you see that? Austin Reeves lost the ball, and he's going sideways, and he just throws it back up, and LeBron just goes up two hands, just yams it. It's pretty nice.
I think I saw a clip about it where LeBron's in the locker room.
Yeah,
he was like, "I just lost
my damn career."
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I did forget actually. Zion Williamson had a two-handed slam over somebody earlier this year too. I'll probably have it in here for you guys to see. But man, Zion deserves his flowers too, because that man, if he is great at anything, it's being able to dunk on people
and eating food.
And then Shaden Sharp, I think, also had a nice one too. I don't know. There was plenty of dunks this year. In terms of posters, though, I don't think anybody dunks on people as viciously as Anthony Edwards does.
No.
That man tries to end your career every single time he dunks on you.
I think he said he was on an interview, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I think during All-Star weekend, and he was talking about how like the question of the face of the league.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I really want to be the face of the league. I just want to go out there and kill people.
Right, yeah, no, yeah, that's legitimately what he says. And I think he said it because like the scrutiny that comes with like being the face of the league per se. But like, yeah, he just wants to go out there and he just wants to wreck people's career, man.
Mm,
He just wants to go out there and physically harm people with the way he dunks on them, which is, man, I don't know.
vicious.
It's vicious, man, and it's fun to watch. And I genuinely think he's gonna probably win the award for Dunk of the Year. Because if he doesn't, who else, man? You know,
Mm.
who else? Anyways, take us to our next category, Gage.
Crossover of the year.
Crossover of the year.
It's gonna
Go
just be
ahead.
recency with this one too. It was a clip of Shea hitting a move, I think, on a Rockets player, and then like he did a step back, and the player was just
Yeah.
touching the earth. And I was like, "Damn, that happened to me. I know what that feels like."
Yeah, it did happen to you, and you know what?
Very
It
humbling, you
happens.
know.
I don't think it's just so, let's have a conversation real quick about this. I don't think you getting crossed over is that bad of a thing to happen to you as a
I
coach.
don't. I didn't know the coach would be out there getting crossed up.
I genuinely think that if you're out there, right, as a coach, and
Mm-hmm.
you see somebody get crossed up, that tells me you were trying insanely hard on defense.
Yeah.
Oh no, you touched earth.
All
Some
right.
guys are work on
Now,
this stuff for a long time, man.
what about getting dunked on though?
Dunked on is you should not get dunked on. You should not get dunked on.
All right. Let's say you're 6'4". Okay.
Yeah.
You're tall and lanky, and you go try and block some kid, and they just cock it back and like just dunk on you. Like, you even embarrassed about that?
I'm not embarrassed by it. I mean, I probably am embarrassed by it, honestly. Yeah, especially if that's like your first tournament together as an AAU team.
Or you call it offensive foul and you throw the ball behind the backboard. But
Shout out to our boy Isaac. If you know, you know. Um, man, good times. Uh, so ironically, my player is also a Rockets player getting crossed up, but it was Luka Doncic crossing up Alperen Sengun
hmm
when he hit that little step back and then they collapsed on him. He drove through the paint, lobbed it to my boy Dorian Finney-Smith in the corner, splash for three. It was a
oh, I do
beautiful
remember
basketball
that.
sequence. Beautiful
Yeah.
basketball sequence. Yeah, I got that for my crossover of the year. Finally, our last category, we have our All NBA first team. Now we can both have the same players.
Yep.
We're just gonna go back and forth, and this is in no specific order,
hmm
but obviously, like this is who we have as the best 5 players in the NBA today.
Mm.
So, Gage, by all means, you can start us.
Nikola Jokic.
I would say Nikola Jokic is definitely there too. I would not disagree with that whatsoever. He's also on my list, so I'll just go right ahead and say Nikola Jokic again as well. Number 2 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
He's on my list
If you
too.
leave SGA off this list, we are going to have problems. The
Mhm.
man is going to win MVP.
Oh, he's not. Anyways, continue.
Okay.
All right,
Go
right?
ahead.
For my three,
I already gave you my number
my,
2. Your number
my
2. Who's your
third
number
is
2?
Giannis.
Number 2. You only gave one
Oh,
so
number
far.
2. Well, I had Shea on there too. That's why.
Okay. So you have Shea and then Giannis.
Yeah, I have
Okay. We're
Shea.
like-minded.
Yeah,
We're like-minded
you
so
have
far.
Giannis
I
too.
also have Giannis. Yep.
Okay.
This is where I think we differ a little bit, though. I think these last 2 are kind of
All right, ready?
out there. All right. I
You want to
got.
go? All right.
I'll go with the first one, and then
Okay.
you'll go, and then you'll give me 2, and then I'll take the last one. Okay.
Okay.
I have LeBron James
Oh shoot.
making the All NBA first team.
All right.
Go ahead. Who's
I
your
had
last
Jason
2, Gage?
Tatum.
You're so.
Okay, ready? You want to hear my last one?
Yeah, sure.
Donovan Mitchell.
I also have Donovan Mitchell as my last one. If you had an honorable mention, somebody who you wanted to put on this list but you couldn't, who would it be?
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, it's Anthony Edwards for me too. He's on my second team. If I went through and created my top 15 players, he's on my second
Top
team.
15? That's crazy.
I went through and did it. I mean, it's hard not to.
I think my
Um,
second team would have been like Ant, LeBron, Steph Curry.
I had Jason Tatum on my second list. I
Did
also
you?
had
Jalen Brown would
I
have been
also
another
had
good one.
Ant. I did not have Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown actually, yeah, Jalen Brown didn't make my top 15. My second team was no, my second team was Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Kay Cunningham, and Evan Mobley.
Hmm.
I think that rounds out the top 10 in the league.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Um, Realistically, Gage, we're pretty much wrapped up with this episode. Like we don't have very much else to talk about. But you got anything else that you want to chat on? Anything else NBA topic wise that you want to bring up?
Nikola Jokic's 61-point game that got sold
By
right at
Russell
the
Westbrook.
end. Dude.
Ironically, who won? Gage, who's the last person to average a triple double to win MVP?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Even if he
It
missed
was
that,
him.
which he did not need a foul with the 3-point line.
Oh no.
Like that was where like the game was like done for.
Yeah.
I'd
And
say
Jordan
that's game
walks
of the
off.
year though.
You think
Yeah.
that's game of the year?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I would agree.
Double OT comes down the last
That was actually
20
the other
seconds.
stat category I had written down that I completely forgot about was game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
That's it. That'd have been my game of the year.
I would agree. I think it's game of the year. Is there any other games you could think of that are even in contention with that?
Not that at the top of my mind, no.
I'll tell you what, sequence of the year was the Lakers and the Warriors in that I think it was first quarter when they were just trading threes back and forth. The most recent game.
Mm-hmm.
You watched? Did you watch that game? No. I think the Lakers have some holes that they definitely had shown, but I also
It's hard to
think
guard
like
Steph Curry.
it's it's impossible. The word guard and Steph Curry do not go in the same sentence unless you're listing his position. They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steph's so damn good. I don't even know. Like the way I look at basketball is probably different from you because you try to look at how you would guard Steph Curry, right? Because you're a player. As a coach, I'm thinking about how I'm game planning against Steph Curry. And honestly, I'm just hoping he doesn't go for 70. That's all I can do. That's all you can do. You can try to do whatever you want to. You can put whoever you want to on him. I don't think it's going to matter.
I'd just face guard him the whole time. Not
And
me
I
as a
think you
player.
have
Like,
to.
I'd have like an NBA player have him follow him all the way up from the other side of the
The entire
court.
court. Full
Yeah,
court pressure. I'd like to think something like that might work.
but it's not. If he goes off, he goes off. But at least I know like full court pressure. Best like hopefully he just misses. He's tired.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of all you can do is pray Steph's gonna miss, man. Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, he really doesn't. He's so good. I don't know. I think it's incredibly hard to look at Steph and say like this is how you guard him in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think the best defensive like player I've seen was it 2016. That player is like just freaking. I forgot his name.
oh, you're talking about
When
Matthew Dellavedova?
yeah, that's what I would do.
Just do what Dellavedova did?
I'd have
Be the most
hopefully
annoying specimen you possibly can.
yeah. I would just have a player like that and just have him just like around them 24/7.
Yeah, I think genuinely speaking, you have to face guard him like you said. But at the end of the day, too, you almost have to. You can't go under on screens, so you have to go over everything. I think you need to blitz him, honestly.
A double, yeah.
I think blitzing those screens would probably be the best way you can get like away
Because
from him.
I'd rather have him cold all night than him get hot.
Right, I'd rather have him cold all night, but I'm letting Jimmy Butler shoot threes before I'm letting
Yeah.
Steph Curry shoot threes. You know what I mean?
So I
That's a
live and
difference.
die on like other players winning than Steph Curry.
Yeah, I'm letting everybody
Mm.
else shoot before I let Steph Curry shoot. But yeah, I think that does it for us, folks. I think we're gonna have a lot more YouTube content coming up this week, and then also moving forward too. We're going to try to be more inclusive to our Instagram following, as well as everybody else who comments on the videos. We're very thankful for the support thus far into our third episode. Um, those who want to come on and be a guest, we appreciate you guys, and we will probably have guests in the future. For right now, though, I think we're probably keeping it this way. Um, I'd say let us get a little bit of a catalog. Let us get a couple episodes in before we bring somebody else on, so we can figure out this format and everything along those lines. But until next time, Gage, anything else? All right,
No.
we're out of here. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you got to this part of the video, we appreciate you. I believe the counter got to 4, if I'm not mistaken. So if you put anything higher than 4, I apologize for you being wrong. But yeah, make sure y'all stay in the paint. We'll see y'all next time. Deuces.